From that warm hug at the runway to the ride in the Beast, it was clear that the American president had a soft spot for his sister Auma. Theirs has been a ride back into time, from a Volkswagen Beetle in their youth to the Beast in their prime.
I once drove my brother from the airport in a battered Volkswagen Beetle. You all saw it on Friday. He returned the favor. 27 years later, he gave me a ride from the same airport in what is called the Beast.
And it is why to Auma, the President of the United States, with all the power accorded to the leader of the free world, will always remain just her little brother. Part of the reason why personal has been the word that continues to describe his first trip to Kenya as president, as the many others before it, proving that you can take Obama out of Kenya, but you can never take Kenya out of Obama. He may have briskly walked down Air Force One as the President of the United States Friday, but memories of his first trip to Kenya some 28 years ago were as clear as if it were only yesterday.
The first time I came to Kenya, things were a little different. When I arrived at Kenyatta Airport, the airline had lost my bags.
Back then, when as a young man he struggled with his identity, being recognized by his name almost immediately he touched down the land of his father was significant for him.
You know, in many ways I was a Westerner. I was an American, unfamiliar with my father and his birthplace, really disconnected from half of my heritage. And at that airport, as I was trying to find my luggage, there was a woman there who worked for the airlines, and she was helping fill out the forms, and she saw my name and she looked up and she asked if I was related to my father, who she had known. And that was the first time that my name meant something.
As was the hospitality her sister Auma Obama extended to him back then, allowing him to experience Kenya in its raw form.
Auma picked me up in an old Volkswagen Beetle, and I think the entire stay I was here, it broke down 4 or 5 times. We'd be on the highway, we'd have to call the Jokali. He'd bring his tools. We'd be sitting there waiting. We were drinking tea and eating ugali, and sukuma wiki, and so there wasn't a lot of luxury. Sometimes the lights would go out. They still do, as that's what someone said.
But that trip was especially significant to him because it allowed him to reconnect with his family.
My grandfather, for example, he was a cook for the British. And as I went through some of his belongings when I went up country, I found the passbook he had had to carry as a domestic servant. And he was in the King's African Rifles during the Second World War and was taken to the far reaches of the British Empire, all the way to Burma.
And with his father, even if only through his memories.
I found letters that he had written to 30 American universities asking for a chance to pursue his dream and get a scholarship. And ultimately, one university gave him that chance, the University of Hawaii. And he would go on to get an education and then return home.
These memoirs that have been told and retold, essential in this forum to encourage Kenyans to believe in themselves and dare to dream and dream big.
I love Kenya because you feel you are home anywhere you go. Home anywhere you go. That's the Kenya that welcomed me nearly 30 years ago as a young man. You helped make me feel at home, and standing here today as President of the United States, when I think about those young people and all the young people in attendance here, you still make me feel at home.
And finally, if for nothing else, President Obama hoped his nostalgic journey would remind us of the one thing that continues to describe Kenyans and Kenya: our hospitality, and more importantly, the strength that is in our unity. Evelyn Omboy, Citizen TV, Nairobi.